1-2 no limit hold'em. Some say you should play these stakes proudly because slow motion is better than no motion. That's optimistic. I like that.
I'm just gonna fucking absolutely nail every hand I'm playing. Every hand I'm playing. Every hand I'm playing.
Yeah, I played that hand miserably. I played that atrociously. I'm Kyle, your friendly neighborhood firefighter by day, saving lives, putting out fires, falling on the news. And when I'm not embarrassing myself in a fire scene, I'm also a wedding cinematographer. And honestly, I don't know what job is more stressful, but goddamn, look at that shot. But wait, there's more! I'm also a proud husband, dad, and stepdad to 4 amazing kids that keep me on my feet and... See, like, what is she doing? But this is my poker channel. I love the game, the strategy, the thrill of the play, whether it's live tournaments or cash games, pretty much anything but online poker. Online poker. So join me as we dive into the ups and downs, the wins, the losses, and everything in between. From poker tips and strategies to behind-the-scenes looks at my life, oh boy, there's a lot to explore. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, and ring the bell for notifications. Let's stack those chips together. Welcome to the channel.
All right, so I'm at the gas station. I'm pumping an unnecessary amount of gas into my unnecessary V8 in 2024. That's not the point. The point is, I'm going to put just $60 in it. So I'm going 58, 59, pink. I let go of it. 60.00. I'm like, I got to go to the casino. Got to ride this luck wave. It's the first luck wave I've had in months. So I'm like, all right, got to do the upswing. Got to ride the upswing. So I'm heading to Foxwoods. Gonna do 1-2 because it's all I can afford because I have no bankroll. And I'm gonna ride this upswing. And I better, because if I don't, my bankroll's busted for quite a while. Well, actually, I'm already on an upswing because I was in New Jersey recently, and against my better judgment, I did some online poker, and we won. We won $113. Don't pay any attention to that. We won $113. So I'm already on the upswing. So today's just in the fucking bag. I'm just gonna fucking absolutely nail every hand I'm playing. Oh, and guess who texted me they're on their way as well?
This guy constantly making me fucking late.
This isn't the vlog. Come on, let's go.
You even apologize for making me late constantly?
Oh, my wallet's in the fucking car.
You've gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my God. Gotta be honest, going down in stakes feels like fucking shit, but sometimes if you're on a downswing, you gotta do what's right. You can't always fucking play beyond your means. So $300 is our 1-2 buy-in, and we'll play this upswing. And we sit down at a pretty packed poker room due to a $1,000 tournament going on. But we sit down at the 1-2 table with our $300. Bob is sitting across from us. We are in the big blind. There are some limpers making their way around to us. I haven't been at this table too long, but it is a very elderly table. I think I'm the only one with hair or any kind of pigment to my hair in it. Not that that says anything about the aggression, but it kind of does. Anyway, I raise it up to $8 from the big blind with my ace-queen of hearts. I get 3 callers, and we're going 4 players to a flop. Now, the flop comes out pretty great for 4-handed, especially this early into the session. I'm feeling optimistic. Slow motion is better than no motion, so we do have a pretty spectacular flop. Ace, king, 4, 2 hearts. Now, I hate being out of position, but this is the best situation to be out of position for. I was the initial raiser, so I'm going to c-bet to $12, and I only get 1 caller from middle position. Guy in the turquoise shirt there decides to come along for the ride. Now, I've played with this specific guy's brother at the 2-5 table, and he's a very aggressive player. So if he's anything like his brother, he knows what he's doing, and he can be fairly wide. But I feel like with this board, you're not calling me with nothing. So heads up to a turn.
Nice.
Turn to the nuts. Absolutely spectacular. I'm going to slow it down. I'm not too afraid of many things at this point. Checks through to a river. Kind of upsetting. I would have liked some kind of bet there. But the 10 of clubs brings in the straight. Any queen makes a straight, which I'm kind of hoping he has. Maybe even a smaller flush at this point. He wanted to get sneaky like me on the turn. But I go out and bet 40. It's about 2/3 pot. I'm hoping it seems a little bluffy, like maybe I had an ace and the flush scared me on the turn. But he puts in the call, and we flip over the goods. He does not look happy. His face has Broadway written all over it. And wouldn't you know, after staring at the board for what felt like 20 minutes, he does flip over king-queen. Middle pair on the flop, and then hit the straight on the river. So that was a pretty great river for us. I feel like we made the max on that. Now here's a hand against my poker buddy, firefighter friend, involuntary father figure, Bob. We are in the hijack with 10-9 of spades, my favorite hand, and I decide to raise it up to $8. Now again, this table is pretty soft, so let me know in the comments, should I be more aggressive? Like, should I be betting larger, like 5, 6, 7 times the big blind open when the table is soft like this? I just don't know, because I play some aggressive games, some soft games. Anyway, we get 4 callers to our $8, no 3 bets, and we're going 5 ways to a flop of 2, 8, 6, 2 clubs. We have a gut shot straight draw and a backdoor flush draw, plus 2 overcards, so we didn't whiff that flop at all. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to c-bet for $15. We get a fold there from the button, and our good old friend Bob decides to come along and call. So now hopefully he's in for some punishment, because I got a pretty good amount of outs here for this hand. The equity is pretty high. We're heads up to a turn, and I completely miss all of my equity. Bob checks, and I pretty much instantly check behind. And then the river comes out a 10 of clubs. The flush gets there. I do hit my pair of 10s. It is now middle pair. And I am in position. Bob's looking at chips, and he bets out for $50. Now let me give you some background. Bob has made this almost exact play before. A couple months earlier, we were at Mohegan Sun, and he fucking completely misses everything on the board. And he immediately goes for a river bet of $50, and he put it out just like that. All lazily and shit with his forearm dragging across the table. It ended up being a huge bluff. So I feel like he's just trying to steal the pot here. But I look down and I realize my pair of 10s, I'm losing to flushes, I'm losing to straights now, I'm losing to any ace. 2 pairs, trips. I mean, there's a lot he could have, and there's a lot I don't have. So I let him have it. But he ends up showing me the good news. Turned 2 pairs, so we were destroyed. And good for you, Bob. I'll get you next time.
The place sucks. Foxwoods blows. Well, I was up last night, 170. And then I got choose Boulay.
Because you play till you lose. Right into the next one, we look down at 3-5 offsuit. You know, if you watched any of my other vlogs, you know how incredibly unlucky I get with this hand. I don't know why the I keep playing it. But here we are again with 5-3 offsuit in the big blind. And because this is a soft-ass game, nobody raises me and allows me to get off of this shitty hand. So we go 4 players to a limp pot, and of course I flop an open-ended wheel draw. Rainbow flop. That's pretty damn good equity on that board. There's one aggressive player at this table who's played like every hand. He's got like the dirtiest mechanic hands I've ever seen. Anyway, he bets out for $6, and I raise it to $25. Now that was a good play. I play this hand pretty well up until I make one mistake, and then it just cascades from there. But this was not one of them. This was a good re-raise. I make it 25 with a wheel draw, hoping to just scoop it up right there. But him being pretty aggressive, it being a limp pot, he could have 4 deuce, deuce jack, jack 10. He could have a bunch of stuff, so he ends up calling me. Now, the turn is a queen, and here is where I fuck up. I check. I lose the aggression. I don't know why, but I passed the aggression to him. After he opened on the flop, and I re-raised really aggressively, on the turn, I missed my wheel draw, and I just give up all aggression. So then he takes over the aggression again and bets $50. So, me being a good player, fold. Right? No, not again. Come on with the 5-3. Come on, you have like 2 outs. You have barely any equity. Do not call. Do not call $50. It's 1-2. $50 is a substantial bet. Okay? You don't have anything, dude. Just give it up. Okay? Give it up. You're not going to hit an ace. You're not going to hit a 6. Just give it up. What is taking you so long? What is there to contemplate? He's got, honestly, I put him on like King Jack, Ace Jack, Jack 10. He had that top pair on the flop. He wouldn't have floated with anything else. Don't put that $50 in the middle. Come on, man. Although, think how cool you'd be if that ace or that 6 does hit the river. You know what? Maybe that was a good call. Maybe that was a... God fucking damn it. See, it was a shitty call. It was a shitty call. Now what? Now the only way I'm winning this hand is to get him off of his top pair. I know it. So my first mistake was checking the turn. Here is my second mistake. I bet $100, and it puts him into the tank, which is good. I want him to think about it. He didn't snap call, so he doesn't have a flush. Like I said, I really put him on a mid-jack or a fairly high jack, but I feel like he might have raised pre-flop with a higher jack. Might have a mid-jack. What I should have done instead of betting 100 was just push all in. Especially looking back now, I see his dismay with that bet, with his back and forth. I really feel like he might have folded, even though I checked the turn and played this hand pretty miserably. I feel like he would have folded if I had just shoved all in. That $100 bet looked pretty good to him. He did start the hand with 550. He had a pretty good stack. So unfortunately for us, he does flick in the chip, and we muck. Yeah, I played that hand miserably. I played that atrociously. This next hand, we get a little bit of our money back from Bob, not from the other guy who just took me for everything with my absolutely ridiculous play. Anyway, Bob straddles to $4, and we look down at Queen Jack offsuit from the cutoff. We raise it up to $20. Bob calls a 20, and everybody else folds. Even our aggressive guy, who just took, I don't know, $300 from us, decides to hold on to that money for a little bit longer. And we go to a flop of ace, queen, jack, 2 clubs. Bob checks it over to me. And I think about being sneaky with middle and bottom pair, but it's too wet of a board. So I'm just going to c-bet for 20. Bob folds, and we win. Not so much revenge, but slow motion is better than no motion, right? All right, I think we play this hand pretty decently. There are limps or folds to us on the button, and we get cute and raise it up with queen 8 offsuit. Hoping to just scoop it up right there, show aggression and position. But this guy to my left, who's been a really good player this whole session, really thinking about everything, giving off this kind of pro image even at 1-2, like he knows what he's doing, puts in the call, and we go to a 6-deuce jack flop. And we're not even going to c-bet that flop. We're going to let it go. You don't have to c-bet every flop. That didn't hit our range, nothing. So why would I pretend it hit our flop? Pot control, we can check through. However, when the 4 of spades comes along and he decides to bet out for $10, I don't put him on anything strong. I feel like he's either trying to steal this pot or he's got some weak shit. So he's either going to call or fold with his weak shit, and he might raise with his super strong shit, but he does put in the call. Now, when an absolute brick hits the river and he checks again, I'm now playing his hand. I'm no longer playing my hand. It doesn't matter what I have. I know he's got either something weak or nothing at all. So I bet out for $55. I feel like that's a good bet. He goes into the tank. Like I said, he knows what he's doing. He's not a bad player. So right now, he's probably playing my hand as well. He might know I have absolute shit or something weak or maybe something just a little better than what he has. But he's contemplating. He's talking out loud. He's kind of going back and forth. What do you have? What is he? Oh, well, he raised pre-flop, so he might have ace-jack, blah, blah, blah. So I did kind of put him in the blender here with the $55 bet. But he's not completely convinced, which is, you know, where the fact that he's a good player is coming in. But I'm proud of that $55 bet. I have absolute garbage, and he folds. And we take that pot with queen high. Proud of how I played that one. Slow motion. Right on to the next hand, we look at pocket 4s in middle position, which is honestly my favorite low pocket pair because I feel like I always make a set. Anyway, there was a raise to $5 in middle position. We call it and go to a 4-7 ace flop. 2 diamonds. It's not a completely dry board, but we did hit bottom set, which is spectacular. There are checks over to us, and we're going to just take the aggression right now with a $15 bet. No reason to slow play at 1-2. That never works out, because I'll definitely always be up against pocket 7s. But we end up going heads up. We get a call from the guy to our right, who has just been getting sucked out on all day, so I feel bad. But then the diamond flush comes in on the turn, so I slow down. And then a brick hits the river. He comes out for $15. I'm a little nervous of that flush still, so there's no point in raising. I just make the smooth call. He flips over 2 pair on the flop, aces and 7s, and we'll take it with this set of 4s. I definitely could have made more money on that, but I get so nervous. I'm so sorry. A couple orbits later, we look down at another pocket pair, 7s now, get a little upgraded from under the gun. And I'm going to raise it right off the rip to $10. I feel like in higher stakes, an open and under the gun would be taken a little bit more seriously. But in 1-2, nobody gives a fuck. So I honestly expected like 6 callers, but this is a soft table, so just some guy to my left calls, and we go to a 5-6-7 flop. Again, flopping a beautiful set on a very wet board. There's a flush draw and a straight on there already, so there's no point in me slow playing. I'm just going to come right out, $20 C-bet. As much as I would like to be sneaky and check this, let him bet, that board is just too wet. I just cannot flop a clean set. So I can't complain flopping a set at all, but $20 will take this pot. He does not continue and folds. We win, but not much.
Shakes. I just went for 10 and now. Oh, would you like some of this on your that?
Now moving on to the last hand of the night. I had said to everybody at the table this was going to be my last hand. Bob wants me to sit and play with him until we both lose like he always does. But no, this is my last hand, so the dealer gives me a monster pocket queens. I raise it up from under the gun to $10. Get folds all around to the big blind, who now raises it up to $62.
All in. Whoa.
Now, I knew at this point he had kings or aces, but he only had $40 behind him, so the money was getting in anyway.
Hey, no.
I went all in, and he flips over pocket aces, wouldn't you know it. Classic aces versus queens to end my session.
My last hand, too. Of course that would happen.
The good news is it's 1-2. If it was 2-5, I would have lost a lot more money on that hand. you know, it's a tale as old as time. Aces versus kings, aces versus queens. This unlucky guy definitely got lucky this time, and I walk away with the biggest loss of the session.
So today's just in the fucking bag. I'm just going to fucking absolutely nail every hand I'm playing.
Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for your support. Please like, subscribe, press the bell notification. Now you can also follow me on Instagram. I post some funny stuff there at Kyle Boulay Poker. Feel free to follow me. This was a fun session. I like playing at the same table with Bob. We honestly didn't lose too much money. We were crawling our way back from that bad call we made. Only ended up losing like $100 after that aces versus queens. Catch you on the next one.